before the sun rises over the islands, before jeepneys roar to life, before vendors begin calling out in busy markets. The bells ring. They echo across rice fields. They drift over crowded cities. They carry through fishing villages where the sea is still half asleep. In the Philippines, faith wakes up before the people do. It is whispered in kitchens. It hangs from rearview mirrors. It is carved into old church doors and stitched into festival costumes. But to understand Filipino religion, you must go deeper, beyond the churches, beyond the mosques, beyond the festivals. Because in this country, belief is not just practiced, it is lived. Long before foreign ships appeared on the horizon, long before cathedrals rose from stone, the islands already believed. Early Filipinos worshipped a supreme creator often known as Bathala, a powerful, distant god who shaped the world. But Bathala was not alone. The world was alive with spirits. Forests had guardians, rivers had watchers, mountains had protectors. Even ancestors remained present in the lives of the living. These spirits were called Anito, and between the spirit world and the human world stood the Babaylan, spiritual leaders, healers, visionaries. They led rituals beneath the moonlight, offered prayers for harvests, and healed the sick with herbs and chants. Religion was not separated from daily life. Planting rice was sacred, fishing was sacred, birth was sacred, death was sacred. Even today, traces remain. Some Filipinos still whisper, "Tabi-tabi po," when walking through forests, an apology to unseen spirits. Some still believe in creatures like the aswang or in the mysterious illness called usog. Modern buildings may rise, but the old spirits were never completely forgotten. Belief in the Philippines does not disappear, it transforms. In 1521, Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan arrived on Philippine shores under the Spanish flag. With him came a cross. What followed was more than colonization, it was transformation. Over 300 years of Spanish rule, Catholic missionaries spread Christianity across the islands. Churches were built in towns and villages. Children learned prayers alongside reading and writing. By the time Spain left, the Philippines had become Asia's largest Christian nation. Today, the Catholic Church remains deeply influential. Around 80% of Filipinos identify as Roman Catholic. But Filipino Catholicism is not simply European Catholicism copied and pasted. It is emotional, it is dramatic, it is communal. It carries indigenous echoes beneath its hymns. In Cebu City, the Sinulog Festival fills the streets with dancing and drums. Devotees chant Pit Señor while carrying the image of the Santo Niño, the child Jesus. For some, it is celebration. For others, it is thanksgiving for miracles. For many, it is both. Then in Manila, millions gather during the Feast of the Black Nazarene. Devotees attempt to touch a centuries-old statue of Christ carrying the cross. Some walk barefoot, some cry. Some believe that a single touch can heal illness or change destiny. To outsiders, it may seem overwhelming. But for believers, it is hope made visible. Faith here is not quiet. It sweats in the heat. It pushes through crowds. It kneels in the streets. Yet Christianity is not the only thread in this story. Long before Spanish colonization, Islam had already reached the southern islands through trade routes connecting Southeast Asia and the Middle East. In cities like Marawi, mosques stand proudly beside lakes and mountains. The call to prayer echoes through the air. Filipino Muslims follow the teachings of the Quran. During Ramadan, families fast from sunrise to sunset. Evenings are filled with prayer and community meals. Islam in the Philippines is centuries old. It has shaped culture, law, clothing, and identity in Mindanao and the Sulu archipelago. Though history has seen tensions, everyday life often shows peaceful coexistence. Christians and Muslims sharing markets, classrooms, and neighborhoods. Different prayers, same homeland. When Spain left and American rule began in 1898, Protestant missionaries entered the Philippines. New Christian denominations grew: Baptist, Methodist, Seventh-day Adventist, and others. One uniquely Filipino church emerged in 1914, Iglesia ni Cristo. Known for its strong unity and distinctive architecture, it became one of the most influential religious groups in the country. Another influential movement is Members Church of God International, known for large-scale Bible teachings and global outreach. Religion in the Philippines does not stand still. It adapts, it multiplies, it reinvents itself. Walk through a modern mall in Manila. People carry smartphones, drink imported coffee, scroll through social media. But come New Year's Eve, many will wear polka dots for prosperity. They will jump at midnight to grow taller. They will make loud noises to drive away bad luck. In some homes, nails are never cut at night. Wakes are followed by specific rituals to prevent spirits from following the living home. Even educated professionals sometimes carry small amulets for protection. Science and superstition coexist. Prayer and medicine coexist. In the Philippines, belief is layered, not replaced. In recent years, especially in urban areas, some Filipinos identify as agnostic, atheist, or non-religious. Social media and global exposure have encouraged questioning, yet disbelief here often looks different than in Western countries. Many who say they do not believe in God still celebrate Christmas, attend family baptisms, or visit cemeteries on All Saints' Day. Religion is woven into culture. You may stop believing in doctrine, but it is harder to stop belonging. A young Filipino might say, "I don't believe," yet still bow respectfully when grace is said at a family meal. Doubt exists, but it often coexists with tradition. The Philippines is no stranger to typhoons, earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions. When disaster strikes, churches often become evacuation centers. Mosques open doors to the displaced. In moments when homes are destroyed, faith becomes shelter. After storms, it is common to see people kneeling in damaged chapels, praying amid broken walls. For many Filipinos, faith is resilience. It explains suffering. It provides comfort. It promises hope beyond tragedy. Religion influences family values, education, and even politics. Divorce remains largely illegal in the Philippines, except under Islamic law, reflecting Catholic teachings on marriage. Family unity is deeply emphasized. Respect for elders is sacred. Children are taught to say po and opo as signs of courtesy. Religious celebrations shape the calendar. Christmas in the Philippines begins as early as September. Holy Week is observed with solemn processions, some even involving acts of physical penance. Faith is not a weekend activity. It shapes identity from childhood. Imagine standing on a Philippine beach at sunset. A fisherman makes the sign of the cross before casting his net. A Muslim father teaches his son how to pray. A grandmother counts rosary beads. A teenager questions everything quietly in his room. A child whispers "tabi tabi po" before running into the trees. Different beliefs, same sky. Religion in the Philippines is not a single story. It is a tapestry woven from indigenous spirituality, Catholic devotion, Islamic tradition, Protestant reform, modern skepticism, and enduring superstition. It is church bells and mosque calls. It is festival drums and silent doubt. It is ancient spirits and modern theology. And as night falls and the bells ring once more, you realize something powerful. In the Philippines, belief is not merely about heaven or doctrine. It is about belonging. It is about resilience. It is about identity carried through centuries of change. It is a story still unfolding, written in prayer, questioned in doubt, and lived every single day under the tropical sky. If you truly want to understand the depth of Filipino religion, come during Holy Week. In towns across the country, streets fall silent. Radios lower their volume. Television programs change their tone. Even the air feels heavier. On Good Friday, processions move slowly through candlelit roads. Statues of Christ, the Virgin Mary, and saints are carried on ornate wooden platforms decorated with flowers and gold. In provinces like Pampanga, some devotees voluntarily reenact the suffering of Christ. A few even allow themselves to be nailed to crosses, acts not officially encouraged by the Catholic Church, but performed as personal vows of gratitude or repentance. Why would someone endure pain publicly? Because for many Filipinos, faith is not passive. It is sacrifice, it is endurance, it is solidarity with suffering. Holy Week is not just remembered, it is felt. Now shift from solemn silence to overwhelming joy. In the Philippines, Christmas does not begin in December, it begins in September. The moment the beer months arrive, Christmas songs start playing in malls. Lanterns called parol glow in windows. Churches begin simbang gabi, 9 dawn masses leading up to Christmas Eve. Families wake before sunrise, attend mass, then share hot rice cakes and ginger tea afterward. Christmas here is not only about gifts. It is about reunion. Millions of Filipinos work overseas. Nurses in the Middle East, seafarers crossing oceans, caregivers in Europe, engineers in America, and during Christmas many return home. Airports fill with tears. Houses fill with laughter. Dining tables overflow. Faith in this season becomes gratitude. Even those who doubt still gather. Because in the Philippines, religion and family are intertwined. But something is changing. The younger generation is growing up online. They watch global debates about religion. They encounter atheism, agnosticism, and interfaith discussions with a swipe of a finger. Some begin to question, why does suffering exist? Why are certain laws influenced by religion? Can tradition and progress coexist? University campuses now host open conversations about belief and disbelief. Podcasts discuss theology and skepticism side by side. Yet, interestingly, many young Filipinos do not abandon spirituality completely. Instead, they redefine it. Some say, I'm spiritual but not religious. Some blend meditation with Catholic upbringing. Some attend church but challenge institutions. Faith is not vanishing, it is evolving. In recent years, there has also been renewed interest in pre-colonial spirituality. Scholars, artists, and cultural advocates study ancient scripts, rituals, and myths. There is pride in rediscovering indigenous identity before colonization. Some communities are reviving respect for ancestral practices, not as rebellion against Christianity, but as cultural remembrance. Because to understand Filipino religion fully, you must acknowledge its layers. Indigenous roots, Spanish Catholic influence, Islamic heritage, American Protestant presence, modern global ideas. All of it exists at once. Religion also plays a powerful role in national debates. Church leaders often speak about poverty, corruption, human rights, and morality. Religious groups mobilize communities during elections. For some, this is moral guidance. For others, it is controversial influence. Filipinos themselves are divided on how much religion should shape government. And this tension creates ongoing conversation. A country negotiating its spiritual identity in a modern democratic world. Perhaps the most unique aspect of religion in the Philippines is this: it is relational. Faith is shared in community. Neighbors invite each other to novenas. Families pray the rosary together. Muslim households gather nightly during Ramadan. Church choirs become lifelong friendships. Even funerals are communal. Wakes last for days, filled with prayer, storytelling, and shared meals. Religion here is rarely isolated. It is collective. It binds people together. Now imagine this final image. The sun is setting over the islands. In Cebu City, church bells ring for evening mass. In Marawi, the call to prayer echoes over Lake Lanao. In Manila, traffic hums as people light candles in roadside chapels. In quiet homes, some kneel, some bow, some simply reflect. Different prayers, different doubts, different devotions, same sky. The story of religion in the Philippines is not one of uniform belief. It is a mosaic. It is resilience after colonization. It is faith after disaster. It is devotion shaped by history. It is questioning shaped by modernity. It is ancient spirits whispering beneath cathedral ceilings. It is mosque domes rising beside coconut trees. It is Christmas songs in September. It is solemn silence in Holy Week. It is a grandmother's rosary. It is a young student's doubt. And as night finally settles over the archipelago, one truth becomes clear. In the Philippines, religion is not just something people practice. It is something they carry in their language, in their festivals, in their laws, in their homes, and in their hearts. And the bells keep ringing.